right, so we're diving into Time of Contempt today, right? The fourth book in Sapkowski's Witcher saga.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're really going to, look at some excerpts and try to unpack what makes this book such a turning point, I guess. Not just plot-wise, but for Ciri, all the politics swirling around and, like, what it means for the whole continent.
Yeah, definitely. Time of Contempt. It just, throws us right into this world that's like right on edge. War is about to break out and everyone's kind of like scrambling, alliances are shifting, and there's this sense of like impending doom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And Ciri's right in the thick of it, trying to figure out like where she fits in all of this, right? Especially when everyone seems to want to use her for their own ends.
Oh, absolutely. Like
Yeah.
right from the start, she's on the run, fleeing through this forest, right? With a knight and a sorceress.
Right.
And there's this part where she talks about a dream, and she says, "Danger comes silently, swooping down on gray feathers." It's just like so ominous, isn't it? Like something's hunting her constantly.
Yeah, that's spot on. And, Ciri's always been in danger, but here it feels different. Like it's
Right.
not just about keeping her safe anymore.
Right.
Now everyone wants to control her destiny. So yeah, that stakes are definitely higher.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And speaking of control, things get pretty rough for her when she gets separated from Yennefer at that inn, right? Yennefer, like, tells her to stay put and then just vanishes. It's got to be devastating, especially for someone who, like, depends on her,
Oh, for sure. It's a huge turning point for Ciri, like a real betrayal, even if Yennefer thinks she's doing it for Ciri's own good.
Right.
And that just leaves Ciri to face this really harsh truth, right? That she can only rely on herself. It's like that feeling of isolation it runs through the whole book.
Oh, definitely. And then we get to that crazy escape from Thanet Island during the Mages Conclave. This huge gathering of magic users. That was supposed to be like, a big deal.
Yeah.
And it blows up into a full-on coup. Sorcerers fighting each other, chaos everywhere, and Ciri caught in the middle of it all.
I mean, talk about bad timing, right?
Right. It's crazy. She only gets out by pure luck and some quick magic.
Well, and Philippa Eilhart, right? She orchestrated that whole coup.
Oh, right.
She's a powerful sorceress, and she thinks some mages are like in cahoots with Nilfgaard and, the empire that's threatening the Northern Kingdom. So she thinks the coup will protect the North, but man, it just backfires horribly. Mages are split. They're vulnerable. Good intentions paving the road to hell.
Oh, totally. And Ciri, she just becomes a pawn in this whole political game, right?
Yeah.
Nilfgaardian agents, the Scoia'tael, even some of the mages, everyone wants her.
Yeah, and that's where this prophecy about the child of the elder blood comes in.
Okay.
That old legend about someone who could change the fate of the continent.
Right.
And guess what? Ciri fits the description. That's a whole new layer to her story, right?
Yeah.
Makes her, like, super important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So here she is, running for her life,
Yeah.
caught between these political schemes and ancient prophecies. It's a lot, even for someone much older than her.
Right.
And then things get really rough when she ends up in the Korath Desert. Talk about a trial by fire, starving, thirsty, always on the move, trying to stay alive,
Oh, yeah, the Korath Desert, it's like a crucible for her. It's really where we see Ciri's resilience. You remember that scene where she manages to, like, create fire, exhausted, desperate, but she does it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the desert's forcing her to tap into her magic.
Oh, absolutely. But it's not all sunshine and roses, right?
Right.
She starts having these visions, violence, destruction, all this darkness, and that prophecy about the Avenger born from, what was it?
Tainted elder blood.
Yeah, tainted elder blood.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, is Ciri going to be a hero or a destroyer?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? Is it all preordained, or does she get to choose? And while all this is happening to Ciri, Geralt's on his own quest, trying to find her, trying to figure out all the secrets surrounding her destiny.
Yeah. Let's talk about Geralt. His journey in Time of Contempt is just as important, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. While Ciri's facing these trials, Geralt's navigating this world of politics and spies, which is like its own kind of danger.
Oh, for sure. And it all starts when he meets those two, what are their names?
Codrunner and Fen.
Right, Codrunner and Fen, like the Sherlock Holmes of the Witcher world, right?
Right.
They give him all this info about Ciri's family, the Law of Surprise.
Oh, yeah, the Law of Surprise. For those who need a refresher, it's an old custom, like you owe someone a life debt, you got to repay them with this unexpected gift.
Okay.
A child, right. And in this case, it ties Ciri to Geralt, but also to all the political maneuvering of her grandmother, Queen Calanthe. It's like fate just tangling everyone together, and not always in a good way.
Yeah, it's like Ciri's caught in this web of destiny, right? And she's just starting to see how it all connects. And speaking of intrigue, there's that meeting Geralt has with Dijkstra, right?
Ah, Dijkstra, the Redanian spy master.
Yeah. That whole conversation is so tense. They're both trying to get info on Ciri, the war, everything.
Yeah, it's a key moment, because it shows even Geralt, who tries to stay out of politics, is getting dragged in.
Right, right.
Dijkstra, he's a master at playing people, and he wants to use Geralt for Redania, and that's a dangerous game for a Witcher to be playing.
For sure. It's like everyone wants something from Geralt, and he's just trying to keep Ciri safe. But then we get to the Mages' Banquet on Thaned, another big gathering that descends into chaos and violence. And Geralt's stuck in the middle, trying to protect Ciri, trying to figure out who's betraying who.
It's like the banquet is this microcosm of the whole conflict, right? You got mages who support the North, others siding with Nilfgaard, and it's all about to explode.
Oh, yeah, and it does explode, right? The coup happens. And Vilgefortz, that sorcerer, he's revealed as the mastermind, working with Emhyr, the Nilfgaardian emperor, to seize control of the North. Talk about a plot twist.
It's a shocker for sure. I mean, Vilgefortz, he was a mentor, someone Geralt and Yennefer trusted, but underneath, he's ambitious, ruthless, willing to do anything to get what he wants. Makes you wonder who you can really trust in this world.
Seriously. And this betrayal, it has huge consequences. Mages loyal to the North, attacked, alliances shattered, and war becomes unavoidable. The banquet, it becomes a battleground. Geralt has to fight Vilgefortz to protect Ciri.
And that's a big turning point for both of them, As Geralt's facing Vilgefortz, Ciri's caught in the chaos of the coup. Their paths split and they have to face their destinies alone.
It's like the world's breaking apart, pulling them in different directions.
Exactly. And we'll see how that separation plays out, It has huge consequences for the rest of the saga.
Oh, bet. So Geralt's fighting Vilgefortz, this rogue sorcerer, and Ciri's caught in this magical coup. What happens next?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. But to hear about it, you got to come back for the next part of our deep dive.
You got it. We'll be back soon to explore everything that happens after Thaned, Ciri's incredible journey, and all the political intrigue that's going to shape the continent.
It's a wild ride, buckle up. So we're back, and things are not looking good for Geralt and Ciri, right?
Yeah.
Their paths have split, and the stakes, I mean, they couldn't be higher at this point.
Yeah, no kidding. The whole continent's on the verge of war,
Mm.
and Ciri's destiny is right in the middle of it all. It's a lot for her to handle,
Absolutely, and she's just a kid. But Geralt, now he's got his own problems, facing off against Vilgefortz. That's got to be rough.
Yeah, I mean, imagine that, right? It's not just a magical duel. It's like this battle for the soul of the continent. And Geralt's up against his former friend, someone who betrayed everything he stood for. Plus, Ciri's safety is on the line.
It's a heavy burden, for sure. And the worst part is, Geralt kind of understands where Vilgefortz is coming from. Yeah. I mean, Vilgefortz, he truly believes he's doing what needs to be done to protect the world, even if it means, making some tough choices. It's that classic dilemma, right? The ends justifying the means.
It definitely blues the lines, that's for sure. But this fight, it takes a toll on Geralt, right? Doesn't he get hurt pretty badly?
Oh, yeah. He's seriously injured, physically and emotionally. It's a major turning point for him. He realizes he's not invincible. He has to face his own limits, his mortality.
Wow, that's got to be a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, it hits him hard. He ends up retreating to Brokilon, that magical forest where the dryads live.
Right.
It's a place of peace and healing, but it's also like this reminder of how fragile the world really is, especially with this war tearing everything apart.
It's like a sanctuary, but a temporary one.
Exactly. And while Geralt's there, Ciri, well, her story takes a crazy turn. She escapes from Thaned, but now she's alone, lost, and hunted. Talk about out of the frying pan into the fire.
Oh, for sure. She's got to rely on her instincts to survive. And those instincts, well, they've been honed by some pretty rough experiences.
It's where we see her true strength emerge. Remember, she's just a teenager, but she's already lost so much. Her home, family, her mentors, and those enemies, they just keep coming.
It's amazing she hasn't given up.
Right. But she's a survivor, through and through. That journey through the Korath Desert, that's just the beginning of her transformation. She's pushed to her absolute limits, physically, emotionally, and she discovers a strength she never knew she had.
Like the desert strips everything away from her, right? Forces her to face her fears, her deepest self.
Absolutely, but it's not just about survival. It's about discovery. She finds resilience, determination, a capacity for compassion, but also a ruthlessness that's, well, a little unsettling.
Yeah, and then she meets the rats.
Ah, the rats. Now they're an interesting bunch.
They're what, thieves, murderers?
Yeah, outcasts, living on the fringes of society. But they give Ciri something she desperately needs, a sense of belonging. For the first time since she left Sintra, she feels like she's part of something, a group that accepts her, flaws and all.
I can see the appeal, you know. They represent freedom, a life without rules. But isn't it more than that? I mean, she's so desperate for any connection, even if it's a bad one.
That's a good point. They're definitely not the best influence on her, encouraging her recklessness, her taste for violence, but they're also a kind of family, offering her a loyalty she craves. It's complicated, for sure.
Yeah, and it seems like the more time she spends with them, the more she starts to embrace that darkness.
Mm.
She sees their brutality, their disregard for life, and it starts to rub off on her.
Yeah, Ciri's transformation is slow, but it's definitely happening. Remember that scene where she's on a raid with them and she just, like, kills without hesitation?
Oh, yeah.
That's not the Ciri we knew back in Sintra. The world has changed her, hardened her. She's losing a part of herself.
It's like a reminder that even the most innocent heart can be corrupted, you know, by violence, despair, all of that. But while this is happening, the war between Nilfgaard and the North keeps getting worse.
Oh, absolutely. The Fayned coup, it left the North weak, divided, and Nilfgaard, they're ready to take advantage.
So the story, it's not just about Ciri and Geralt anymore. It's about the whole continent, all the political games and betrayals that are shaping its destiny.
Exactly. Kings and queens making deals, spies lying and scheming, armies clashing. It's all about power. Who has it? Who wants it?
And Ciri, she's like the most valuable prize in this whole game, right?
Hmm.
And remember those guys, Codringer and Fen, they weren't the only ones interested in her lineage.
Oh, right. Emperor Emhyr, the ruler of Nilfgaard, he's got his own reasons for wanting Ciri.
Emhyr, he's such a mysterious character, always in the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
What's his connection to her? Why is he so obsessed with finding her?
Well, that's a story for another time. But let's just say Emhyr's interest in Ciri, it adds a whole new layer of complexity to her destiny.
It's like peeling back layers of an onion, and each layer is more surprising than the last. So we've got Ciri going down a dark path with the rats, Geralt healing his wounds and dealing with his failures, and Ifyr's schemes unfolding in the background.
And don't forget all the other players. The mages, the Scoia'tael, the kingdoms fighting for dominance, they all want something, and they all have secrets.
It's a world full of conflict, intrigue, moral ambiguity, time of contempt. It really digs deep into human nature, how people react when faced with impossible situations.
Exactly. And as we head towards the end of the book, all these threads, they start to come together. It's leading to a confrontation that's going to change everything.
I can't wait to see how it plays out. But before we get to that, there's something I've been thinking about.
Oh, what's that?
It's this whole idea of destiny versus free will. Everyone keeps telling Ciri she's the child of the Elder Blood. Her fate is set. But she's making choices, some good, some not so good. So is she really in control of her own life, or is she just following a script written long ago?
That's a great point, and it's something Sapkowski explores throughout the whole saga. Is Ciri a pawn of fate, or does she have the power to choose her own path? It's something we all think about, right? What forces shape our lives, the choices we make, the consequences we face.
It's a big question, and there's no easy answer. And that's what makes Time of Contempt so powerful. It makes you think. It challenges your ideas about destiny, free will, good and evil.
Absolutely. It's a masterclass in storytelling. Action, intrigue, characters you really care about, it all comes together to create something truly special.
And we're not done yet. In the last part of our deep dive, we'll get to the climax, the big revelations that change everything, and what it all means for the continent.
It's going to be epic, so make sure you come back for the final part.
Okay, so we're back, and Time of Contempt is really ramping up the tension. Ciri's with the rats, Geralt's in Broccolon, and the continent is on the brink of all-out war.
Yeah, it's like all the pieces are in place for a massive showdown. And Ciri, her journey with the rats, it really takes a turn in this last part. She's not just tagging along anymore, she's right in the thick of it. Raids, fights, even showing some leadership skills.
Right, it's like she's a different person from that scared girl who fled Sintra. I mean, she's tough, resourceful, but seeing her adapt to this life of violence, it makes you wonder, is she drawn to it, or is it just survival at this point?
That's the question, isn't it? You see the world stripping away her innocence, forcing her to face this darkness. And she doesn't shy away from it. It's part of her transformation, you know?
Yeah, it's like she's being forged in fire. And Geralt, he's over in Brokilon, still recovering, but he gets a visit from Dandelion, remember, his bard friend.
Oh, yeah, Dandelion. Huh. He brings news of the war, tells Geralt where Ciri is, what she's up to.
And that's got to be a wake-up call for Geralt, right?
Yeah.
She can't just sit back and heal. He's got to find Ciri, protect her.
Exactly. It's like this renewed sense of purpose for him. He's been hurt, betrayed, but he's not giving up. Ciri needs him.
It's that love for Ciri, that fatherly instinct that drives him right. But the war, it's just getting worse. Both sides are doing terrible things, and it seems like there's no end in sight.
It's a reminder that war is never simple, you know? There's no good guys and bad guys. Everyone gets their hands dirty. And in the middle of all this, we get a peek inside the Nilfgaardian court. Remember Emhyr, the emperor? Well, we finally learn why he's so fixated on Ciri, and let me tell you, it's a shocker.
Yeah, I was totally blown away by that reveal. Emhyr thinks Ciri is his daughter.
Right, it changes everything, doesn't it? Suddenly, it's not just about politics, it's personal. Emhyr wants his heir back no matter what.
It adds this whole layer of tragedy to the story. I mean, what's Ciri going to do when she finds out? Will she embrace her Nilfgaardian heritage or fight against it?
It's the cliffhanger that leaves you wanting more. And Time of Contempt, it ends on that note of uncertainty, Ciri's fate hanging in the balance. She's stronger, more independent, but also more vulnerable than ever. Caught in this web of destiny and intrigue, and she's just starting to understand it all.
So where does that leave us? I mean, we've seen Ciri grow, Geralt struggle, and the continent on the brink of collapse. It's been a wild ride.
Yeah, Time of Contempt, it's more than just action and adventure. It's about character, about destiny, about the consequences of war. We see how these forces shape people, how they make impossible choices.
It really makes you think, you know?
Yeah.
And even though the book ends on a cliffhanger, it leaves you with this feeling that Ciri's journey, it's just beginning.
Right. She's on the path to becoming something extraordinary, whether she wants to or not. And we're left wondering, will she be a force for good or destruction? That's the question that hangs over everything.
It's a question that keeps you hooked, makes you want to dive right into the next book. But for now, I think we've covered a lot of ground. Time of Contempt, it's a powerful story full of twists and turns, and it sets the stage for some truly epic events to come.
Absolutely. If you haven't read it yet, you're in for a treat. And even if you have, revisiting it, like we did today, it just reveals new layers, new depths.
Yeah, and that's what we love about these deep dives, isn't it? Exploring these stories, these worlds, and finding new meanings in them every time.
It's a journey of discovery, and we hope you'll join us again next time for another deep dive into the world of literature.
Until then, happy reading.